What's up, YouTube? I hope you liked that intro with the very lovely Fionna. Links in the description. Today, the purpose of this video is going to be to compare these lenses. We have a bunch of 35mm lenses, except for one, which we'll go over in just a second. I figured if I wanted to know how these stacked up against each other, maybe someone else would be interested in seeing how these lenses stack up against each other. So here we are. So what do we got here? We have the Beast, the 32mm Sigma Aizu. It's a cine lens, 32mm, T1.3, very bright, very heavy, very amazing, very insane at everything. The reason I didn't get the 35mm is because when I went to lens rentals to rent the 35mm, they did not have it in their inventory. So I got the closest thing I could, which is the 32mm, and it is a beast. And that brings up the next point, which is this video does not have a sponsor. Does it look like I have sponsors? I take that back. This video is sponsored by me. This is the Sigma 35mm f1.2, just recently came out, also from Lens Rentals. They did not send me anything. Does it look like they would send me anything? I'm gonna stop making jokes about that now. I rented these lenses with my own money. The next lens is the NiSi 35mm. I really like it. I really like the characteristics around the specular highlights, like a rainbow fringe on them. Next lens, also a new addition this year to the lens world. We have the 35mm Sirui Aurora f1.4. Next, we have the 7Artisans 35mm f1.4. Super tiny, actually pretty good for this price. This is actually one of my favorite lenses. But there you have it, those are our lenses. And just a disclaimer, this comparison is not going to be very scientific. In fact, it is going to be very non-scientific. I am an amateur. I do not know what I'm doing. I have one short film under my belt. The rest of the stuff is just me in my bedroom playing the guitar, pretty much. I'm here because I really like doing this and I want to get better at it. So here I am. And another thing about this video is I feel like the YouTube world, when it comes to the camera niche, is a little saturated. It feels like a lot of people are kind of doing the same thing. And with this video, I'm trying to experiment to see what I can do differently with my videos. And part of that is gonna be incorporating original music into it. And so I hope you guys like the music. If you don't, I guess just mute it. And so next, let's take a look at some specs. Let's see how that was. Jesus Christ. Freaking suck at this, people. You know, it's now April. I shot that first part of the video in November, 2025, and I've been working on this video for like 6 months now. And I mean, I have a full-time job, so I don't have like a ton of time on my hands on the weekends to do this stuff. I had wanted to do some more music for this video for the next part, but that's not gonna happen. I just don't have the energy on my days off, and most of my energy goes into my job, which I don't mind, but now April, and I just want to get it out. So, but before we move on to the next part, which is the main comparison, let's talk about form factor. I had a whole sequence going over build quality, but it just felt so incredibly generic. So here's the quick version. 1, 2, 3. This thing is a monster. It's pretty, I mean, it's not light. It's very dense. It's not too big, it's not too small. This is like a tiny tank. Now let's talk about the next part of the video, which is the main comparison. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the lens name in a certain part of the screen so you don't have to read what lens you're looking at. And the reason I do this is because I get a little bit annoyed whenever I see a lens comparison and the lens text is in the same spot and you have to read the text when the lens changes. Why on earth wouldn't you change the position of, and rather than doing that, I'm gonna place the lens name in a different part of the screen so that you just know if you see that in your peripheral vision, the lens changed. So it's gonna be pretty easy. It's gonna follow the same convention that we kind of have been going over this whole time. We're gonna go from least expensive to most expensive. And so we're gonna put the 7Artisans over here, and then we're gonna put the Sirui over here, and then the NiSi, Sigma Art, Sigma Aizu. It should be easy. And that way you don't have to read the friggin' text and you can just look at the video the whole time, which I hope that's going to be a little helpful. But anyway, quick disclaimer on the main comparison. Cut me some slack, okay? Cut me some slack. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I shot it a little hot, okay? Exposure's way up, but we didn't lose any detail. You'll just notice that it's a little hot. And yeah, let's take a look. And I think what I'll do is I'll record my thoughts here and I'll just watch it. First lens, Sigma Aizu. I wish I would have kept the color of the lights one solid color, because then they wouldn't have flickered, but it is what it is. Anyway, Sigma Aizu, first lens. What I noticed about this lens, I don't know if anyone has seen Wake Up Dead Man, but this lens made me feel like I could get the same image that I saw out of Wake Up Dead Man with the Aizu. I didn't get that feeling from any of the other ones. I don't know if it was just like subconsciously with the slightly wider field of view, yet comparable depth of field to the 35. I just felt you can get that kind of image with Aizu. Sigma Art, super sharp. I think it was the sharpest one out of all of them, it seemed. Yeah, not much else to say about that. The NiSi Athena, you could see the rainbow fringe around the specular highlights in the bokeh in the background. Really love that. There's a little bit of onion skin texture in there, but I can get over that. Now, what surprised me the most was how well the Sirui stacked up against the others. And it's funny when you can immediately see, like, it's like you get a free mist filter on the 7Artisans. It's like you can see there's like a little bloom around the edges where there are it seems like there's a little bit of blooming happening. It's definitely softer, definitely a little more difficult to get focus too. which I had a little bit of difficulty getting focused with that one, so slightly off. So here's a quick rundown. We're going to go through them quick, just so we can get kind of an idea. And remember, names are in different portions of the screen, so eventually you'll memorize it and you won't have to look. You can just look at the image. And then here's a side-by-side. I figured it'd be good to see fall off. Here's a little bit more of a centered view. And then I stopped. Next part is the bokeh, specifically. And the cleanest bokeh balls have to go to the Aizu, I think. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I know the lights are flickering. That's my bad. Cut me some slack, though. Look at the high. I just love the fringing on the NiSi bokeh, though. It just looks so cool. And then here's the Sirui. I think this is one of the shortcomings of the Sirui, is that the close focus isn't super good. I mean, it's fine, but you can see that I mean, I guess this really doesn't matter, but it's kind of a nitpick, but the bokeh balls can only get so big. And if that matters to you, I mean, there you go. What I really like the way the 7Artisans bokeh looks, though. You can see how big the Sigma art can get. And then I stopped down to 2.8. I also did 4 and 5.6, but I honestly just don't have the energy to sit down and edit this video anymore. It's been 6 months since I started this video, so I just wanted to get it out at this point. So here's 2.8, and it's interesting how the 7Artisans is just, it's $189, and I actually have 2 of them. I have one for E mount and one for L mount because it's affordable. And if you don't compare it to another lens, if you're not using it with another like 35mm and comparing them, you can't really tell if you like how it looks compared to more expensive options. And I think depending on your use case, it has a low character. So here's the side-by-side. I had to do a freeze frame on the Aizu because I missed focus. My bad. You can see that even at 2.8, bokeh balls are still pretty circular on the Aizu. Sigma art. Still looking good, pretty circular, not too geometric. You can see that the highlights, the rainbow fringe still seems to be there on the NiSi, which if you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, I like it. Sirui, looks pretty good. For the price, it did a lot better than I thought it would. And so did the 7Artisans. I mean, these lenses are way less expensive than the other ones. Here's a bokeh side by side. Let me know if you guys think that this is a good way to... I wanted to see all the bokeh next to each other, so let me know if you guys thought that was cool. Next thing we're going to go over is flares. Before I recorded this comparison, I actually didn't think much about flares. But as soon as I started using I mean, you can see it on my face right here. As soon as I tested the flares on the Aizu, I was just like, that's one of the coolest flares that's a cool flare. I don't know if it's one of the coolest flares I've ever seen. Zalmus Apollo, I think. It's got a pretty cool flare on that one, but it's anamorphic and it's like $20,000. Well, I mean, the Aizu is about $10,000, so I guess it's same difference. The Sigma art didn't really have a lot going on. Didn't really lose any contrast though. And Don't judge me for getting super close. I mean, I told you guys this wasn't going to be scientific, but suddenly I'm super close to the lens. NiSi, you can see not a whole lot going on too. A little bit of loss of contrast. I mean, I am shining it right in the face. I am shining it right, like, right into the lens, but you can see it's not too bad. Sirui next. Siruy's actually got some pretty cool flares going on. Right here. It's pretty cool. And then here with the 7Artisans, you can see that if you get a light right into the lens, you are losing your shot. But if you stop down, I think I only stopped down to like 4 at max, and it just like went away, which is pretty cool. And you can see if this matters to you, the bokeh is still circular when you stop down. You get a little bit of a flare too. But I mean, for $189 with that kind of, at $189 with that kind of performance, I mean, it's pretty good. The only thing you have to pay attention to, or only thing you have to keep in mind, is that it's going to be a little bit difficult to get focus if you're using it for video purposes. But I mean, I don't know if it's just that I'm used to it, but it's not that hard if you're behind the camera. Now, if you're in front of the camera and you're trying to get focus, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But yeah, that's it. So there you have it, guys. Hope you liked the video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. That will help support me to make more videos in the future. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.